This video is, for the second time in this 18th Dynasty series since the joint reigns of Hatshepsut and Thutmose III, about two pharaohs at once. But whether these two pharaohs reigned at the same time, or were even two separate people to begin with, is something we just don't know for sure. Combined, the pharaohs Neferneferuaten and Smenkhkare are believed to have reigned for 3 or 4 years, though opinions differ even on what order they reigned in. So, who were they? Neferneferuaten is almost certainly an adopted personal name of Nefertiti, great royal wife to Akhenaten, much the same way that a certain Amenhotep himself became Akhenaten. Neferneferu I take to mean beauty of beauties, the same way we translate Djeser Djeseru as holy of holies. I mentioned in my Akhenaten video that Nefertiti had a certain degree of co-regency with her husband, though it's nowhere near certain she outlived Akhenaten, because precision about the Amarna period is difficult, owing to later attempts to erase all traces of it. If she did, she'd be a natural successor to the throne, herself being something of a prophet of the new supreme deity. Neferneferuaten may have also been one of Akhenaten and Nefertiti's daughters, either Meritaten or another daughter also called Neferneferuaten. All of this muddies the water somewhat. Now, when Neferneferuaten reigned, she was known as Ankheperu-Ra, or sometimes Ankhet-Kheperu-Ra. Both mean something along the lines of the living manifestations of Ra, or the form of Ra is life. The difference between Ankh and Ankhet is simply that the latter is the feminine form. Now, of course, the regnal name is the one a king was known formally by in all official capacities. It was also customarily unique. Which brings me to Smenkhkare, also known as Smenkhkare, but that's awkward to pronounce. This pharaoh also reigned under the name Ankheperu-Ra. Smenkhkare is a personal name, and as we know, these weren't immune to change in the Amarna period. So was Smenkhkare Meritaten, Meritaten's husband, or a continuation of Neferneferuaten under an unambiguously masculine name? We've discussed when talking about Hatshepsut that the pharaoh was male, even if the person inhabiting the office happened not to be. Was Smenkhkare Nefertiti, adopting a male pharaonic persona? It's hard to look him or her up without finding a lot of ifs and possiblies, because we don't have evidence for a sole reign. Actually, we barely have any evidence for an individual human being, and most damningly of all to me, the unique regnal name, Ankheperu-Ra, is the same as that of Neferneferuaten. But all of this remains inconclusive. There's a fair bit of evidence in several directions, so I guess let me know in the comments if you'd like to watch me tie myself in knots in a proper deep dive. Anyway, I've lumped these two pharaohs into one video for 2 reasons. First, they might have been the same person. Second, honestly, there isn't enough to say about them individually to break them apart as a concept. A 4-year reign is attributed between them, so what happened in this 4 years? Well, for one thing, the Amarna period began to end. It wouldn't truly end until not long into the reign of Ankheperu-Ra's successor, but with Akhenaten, the great prophet's death, the Atenist period was beginning to relax, and Amarna began to lose traction as Egypt's capital city. But we don't know much. Later pharaohs expunged the Amarna period, including Akhenaten and his immediate royal line. But a lot of people who must have been central to the Amarna era suddenly started thinking maybe they should backtrack on a few things, rethink how many gods there were. And though in ancient Egypt the writing was always on the wall, now it seemed as though doubt was creeping in amid the fervour for religious and societal reform. Perhaps Ankheperu-Ra, be they 1 or 2 kings, could have held on to the Amarna dream, but the reign, or reigns, added up to a US presidential term. And so, after an uncertain number of years with an uncertain number of pharaohs, the dual crowns were bestowed upon someone who was either Ankheperu-Ra's son, brother, brother-in-law, or unrelated 4th thing. I'm talking, of course, and at long last, of Neferneferuaten Tutankhamun. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, next week, literally bang on the anniversary of the first opening of Tutankhamun's tomb, we'll take a look at the reign of the boy king himself. What do you reckon about this king or these kings, Ankheperu-Ra? 1 person? 2? Nefertiti, Meritaten, some bloke? Let's hash it out once and for all in the comments, just get it decided. And if you found the mystery at all intriguing, why not tickle the all-knowing like button until it tells you the answer? The deities waiting in the wings for me to have a change of heart and decide there are more than one of them are my wonderful backers at patreon.com/armchairegypt, and if you want to join that pantheon, today's as good a day as any. Until next time, my fellow armchair Egyptologists, life, prosperity and health to you all. Thanks for watching. Head over to my channel for more, or click here to see what the YouTube demons think you should watch next. I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you'd like to support and collaborate on the channel with me, go to patreon.com/armchairegypt. You can also join my Discord community, there's an invite link in the description.